How's everybody doing today? I hope you guys have had a better day than me. It's been kind of a tricky day today. A lot of challenges. One of our cats got run over by a car while crossing the street. A lot of sadness. Uh, just a lot of stuff going wrong today. So it was one of those days. I hope you get a better day than I did. But I'm here. And let's brighten up this end of this day for me. It's the end of the day. It's probably the beginning of the day for you guys. Let's try and brighten it up by giving you guys some messages that are going to brighten your day, because then that brightens my day. So hi guys. Hi Sylvia. Hi Dustin. Hi Susan. Hi Maureen. Hi everybody. Okay, it looks like everybody can see me okay. For those of you guys who are new to my channel, I am an intuitive, and I do these free angel card sessions where I let spirit choose your card. We just let it jump out, and then I will tell you what the card says, and then I will tell you what I'm intuitively picking up on. Now, for people who have had channelings, spirit readings with me, they know that my channelings are kind of a nudge up off of that, but this is something I do for fun. This is something that doesn't drain the shit out of me, because those channelings, they do take out so much energy. They do push me to my limits on an energetic level, but I love doing them for you guys, because you get to really have spirit talk through me. This is a little bit different. This is more intuitive readings. My intuition is always on. It's always connected, and it's always connected to something outside of us, something inside of us, something that is all. So if you're new here, know that spirit talks to us in many different ways and forms. They will give you validations. Let's say you don't get picked for a card, but a message from someone else gives you goosebumps, gives you that feeling like, hey, this might just be for me. I feel like they're talking to me. Then guess what? It is, because if you're getting that validation comes from outside of yourself and is being sent to you, so you would pay attention. Okay, so spirit can talk through us and to us, even if it is through other people's readings or other people's cards. Okay, so be very mindful, be very present in the moment. Really pay attention to your body, how your body responds. Pay attention to your mind. What are the thoughts that are coming in? Those are all signal, signs, and guidance from your spiritual team. Okay, they will send us nudges constantly, but we have to start becoming aware of it, and we have to start embracing them. Okay, so let's get started. Now, I just kind of go random over, and I allow spirit to highlight a name, and then I go with that. Okay, but I'll go back and forth, up and down, up and down. Okay, so don't worry, it's never going to be in the right order. Okay, Susan, they're giving me Susan. Susan Stefan. Emma, I'm tempted to give up on my daughter. She does nothing but intentionally harm me. May I get a card on this? I will see what spirit says. Let me write down your name. Okay. Let's see. And I have several cards for those of you who are unfamiliar with the way I work. And I just kind of get drawn to that one. Okay. They just kind of highlight it. So it almost like, the way that I see it, it's almost like the energy gets brighter on it, like somebody's putting a spotlight on it. That's kind of what it looks like in my head. Same with your names. Ooh, there's one. B, spread heart healing with joy. Susan, spread heart healing with joy. So intuitively, what I'm getting is it's about being able to embrace the situation with love and acceptance that it is what it is. Everybody is entitled to design and create the journey as they see fit. Everybody is responsible for their creative task in their own reality. And therefore, they're kind of saying, look, um, allow things to be what it needs to be, but take care of yourself first. Okay, you need to embrace that that is how your daughter is willing to experience her reality. She is willing to create these kind of conflicts, but you also have the responsibility to yourself to care for yourself, to protect yourself, to bring the focus back to you so you can transcend the troubles or the discomforts that other people are creating in your life. Accept that that is her journey and that you are willing to embrace that is her choice, but also decide for yourself, what is it that I want to experience in my life? And focus on loving oneself, protecting oneself. So if that feels to you that the need is to protect and to disconnect from your daughter, then that is something you need to do, and that is something you need to follow. You have to really follow your heart on this one. Feeling guilty or feeling like you're failing her really is none of the essence, because you have done everything you can, is what they're saying. You have given it all you got, but sometimes we have to let go of people, of things, of jobs, of situations. We have to sort of allow them to fade away in the distance to create space for a new relationship to come in, or for her to experience that absence, that loss, and then to be able to, in a way, like rethink the relationship, rethink how uh, everybody is treating each other, and so on and so forth. So sometimes we have to let things go in order for them to find ourselves again. But what's very, very important is that you become the queen bee of your journey. It's time to take care of yourself. We should not allow anyone take away our joy, take away our balance, take away our peace, no matter who they are. And make sure that you put the responsibility where it belongs. Every single soul is responsible for their own creation. Every bee is responsible for their own job to create the life they are choosing to have. Okay, so don't take the responsibility on you. You have done what you can, but it's time to now spread love, embrace the situation, accept it, surrender to it, and accept that this is her choice. She is choosing this reality, but it doesn't need to be yours, and it doesn't need to affect your joy, your peace, and your balance. So start with healing yourself, start with healing and bringing back your joy. And then that beacon of light that you will become, that beacon of peace, will be sent out, because you guys will always be connected on an energetic level. That peaceful, healing, joyful beacon will attract and inspire, basically, those who are closest to you. So a lot of people think that taking care of ourselves is a selfish thing or an ego act, but it's not. The brighter you become, the more you can infuse others with high vibrational energy, love, compassion, care, guidance, without you having to lose yourself while doing it. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know if I'm making any sense, but that's kind of what I'm getting. Okay. Self care is crucial right now. And just see, you'll see, because they're showing me this, like, when you take care of yourself, you become this bright light, and then people will be like, well, I want what she's what she's doing. They will see that peace in you, they see that abundance in you, that flow, that ease that life comes, that life creates while you're in that very high vibrational state. And then other people will get inspired by you to do the same. And that's how we influence the people that are closest to us as well. We don't need to try and convince them. We don't need to try and change them. We can't. They are the sole creators of their experience. But you get to choose how you react to it, how you utilize it, and how you transcend it. And that's what you're learning now. You have the right to transcend her negative spiral and become a beacon of inspiration for not only yourself but also for her and a whole lot of other people. Does that make sense? So choosing to feel victimized by someone else's situation is a choice, and that choice is yours. It's not hers. She can do anything she wishes to. If you chooses not to be a victim, or you chooses not to be victimized by her, then none of that, you will not experience that. Okay? So choose wisely, choose self-love, choose to become a light, not only for yourself, but for everyone else, without needing to be victimized to become that light. Okay? I hope that helps, my love. Okay. Dusty. All right, let's get a card for Dusty. Dusty, 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 that one. Okay. Sometimes you gotta, we gotta take a few steps back. We've had to do that with family members as well in our family, and that's okay. Always keep in your mind that your souls on a soul level adore each other. You're just here and you've accepted the challenge of pushing each other's buttons in different ways in order to learn or to remember how to transcend it. Okay? That's it. But just always keep in your heart, you might hate people in this lifetime. You might completely be like, oh God, you drive me crazy. Always know that in spirit, you guys are so close that you decided, okay, I'm going to take the heavy task of being mean to you. And it's going to be tough, but I'm doing it so you can have the experience of transcending victim consciousness. Okay? Keep that in your head. I have that too. If there's people that I'm going, I really don't align with those people, that's okay. I embrace them with love and light because I know that their souls love me and I love them. Okay? This is just an experience to induce opportunities of expansion. All right. Dusty, release old patterns. Release old patterns. It's time for something new. It's time for something new. The old Dusty needs to go, my love. The old Dusty needs to go. It's time to spread your wings and fly, is what they're saying, okay? I just feel like a new chapter needs to be written for you, Dusty. A new chapter needs to be written that will come to pass and start it's almost like you're still building the wheels to make the windmill bring you abundance. Okay. You're working on the wheels and putting it all together so that windmill can then start doing the work for you and bring you grain, and that brings you financial abundance and so on and so forth. That's kind of what they're showing me. So 2025 for you is about figuring out, what kind of energy do I want to put into my future? What kind of energy do I want to receive from my job, from my relationships, from my, where I live, and so on and so forth? I just feel like new beginnings are necessary in order for you to be able to reinvent yourself. Some people can really reinvent themselves where they are, what they're doing. I just feel like for you, for some reason, you have to kind of like start with a clean slate, like start fresh and slowly but surely rebuild your new world as you go along by your day. So release the old character that is Dusty and create the new version of Dusty for a 5D reality. And that comes, I feel, with renewal on many different aspects of life. But what I do feel very strongly is success is a guarantee. Success is a guarantee. This to me looks like a cup filled with light. It's a guarantee. But what you're lacking or what you're transcending is the fear of failure and the fear of the unknown, because you have this thing where they're giving me this feeling like being afraid to take steps forward, and it's like you're waiting until you have it all figured out, and that's the biggest problem that you have. Don't wait until you have all the answers. If even if you only have one answer that gets you to tomorrow, you take that and you start putting the wheels in motion. Okay, you can't wait until you have clarity on how it all going to work. You have to trust the universe. It's about mastering your beingness. It's about being your reality. It's about knowing that if you take that one step, the next stone will appear, and then you will take that step, and then the next stone will appear. Just think of Labyrinth, the movie, where the guy's like, he starts yelling and these stones pop out of the swamp. You're trying to get out of the swamp, but these stones will pop up one at a time. Every time you take one step forward in a direction that feels right to you, then this new stone will appear and bring more clarity on the next step, and so on and so forth. So what you're here to master is to become a master manifester, but to also embrace the being that is you, the creator that is you, and to master the knowing that the universe is always by your side, is always supporting you, and will always give you an expression of your energetic being, your state of being. Okay. The universe doesn't give us what we want. It gives us who we are today. And that's what you're here to master. Does that make sense? Become that joy, become the excitement for the new unknown adventure, become the curious self of, okay, who am I? Who is this new Dusty? Okay, who is this person? And what does this person want in life? What kind of experiences does he want to have? Don't specify it. It needs to be this exact detailed thing. But focus on what kind of experience you want to have. And then you know that when you send that out, it's in the making. It's already been created, and you're now slowly moving in that direction by following what feels right today. Okay. So release the old self. This year is about taking steps to develop and understand the true self. And then 2026 is going to be about really putting all of the energy in motion. It's going to be about bringing it into physical reality. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Let's see. Sue McMillan. I'm trying to let go of a past. Dusty says, thank you so much. I need to let him go. We're not on the same page. Yes. Sometimes we have to let go of the old to create space for the new. Okay. Everything is going to be okay. They really want to validate that. Okay. Trust. Know that you're here to create and be the creator. So embrace that responsibility and do it. Become it. Sue, I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. Sue. Whatever the important event is tomorrow that you're talking about, it just feels like approach it with the right perspective, approach it with the right glasses on. Everything is unfolding, is what they're saying. Everything is unfolding one step at a time. So trust that this is an experience that will lead to other opportunity. Okay, look look at it in a fearful, loving way. Look at it with excitement for the new chapter to begin. Look at it with the through the eye of your soul. Okay, so that means no worry or no insecurities are necessary, but only observe it as just a simply another way for you to experience yourself in this reality as you're um, embrace. This is what I'm saying: as you're embracing what is, and as you're embracing that all is as it should be. Okay, so walk tall, move forward with confidence and trust. All righty. I hope that helps. Julie Garza. Good morning from Denver, Colorado. Good morning from France. From Brittany, France. I'm in the Côte d'Amour, or the Armored Coast, if you want to translate it. The Armored Coast. I did live in Colorado several years. First in Estes Park, and then I lived in Colorado Springs with my husband. Orange, connection and attunement, Julie, number 24. Julie Garza. For some reason, I'm feeling like you're disconnected from your own body. Like you don't even feel like you're yourself anymore. You don't recognize yourself anymore. It just feels like you're looking at yourself in the mirror and it's like, who is this person? I just feel like you really need to do exercises or take moments to reconnect with who you are in this human form. It's almost like you're losing connection with the human self, and you're trying to escape this human condition by moving into a more spiritual condition, right? You're trying to ascend to the human condition, but look, that's not what you're here to do. You're here to experience the spiritual self while having a human experience. That's what you're here to do, to bring both aspects into one character in a balanced way. So don't try to it sounds like don't criticize yourself so much, don't reject yourself so much, but really start to embrace the character that you are. Also start to embrace the knowing that this character can evolve and change with you as you're moving more in tune and more aligned, as you're moving more attuned into with your spiritual self. But know and understand that you're here to bring spirituality, the spiritual aspect of self, very much into physical form. You're here to be both aspects while going through the human condition. So do not reject yourself. And the only way to get reacquainted with the character that you now are, because you're no longer the person you were before. You've changed, you've evolved, and this character just simply no longer fits into the 3D, 4D dimensional reality. And that doesn't help you either. That makes you feel even more disconnected with who you are. But reconnect to the true self, and then allow that authentic self, that authentic spiritual self, to color, to infuse the human self. Okay, so bring the spiritual authentic self into the human self and allow it to infuse every cell of this physical being and every aspect of your character, and become your spiritual truth. As of today, your spiritual truth is they're only ideas on a mental level. They are ideas, they are beliefs, they are understandings, but you're not living those truths. You're not being those truths. So that's how you incorporate the physical, the non-physical spiritual self into the human self, is you allow your actions and your reactions to reflect that which you know is true. And that's how you bring both aspects of self into uh, one eh, into one temporary vessel and one temporary experience, and continue to become more of yourself than you have ever been before. Okay, I hope that helps. You might have to re-listen to that, but you know me, I go blah blah blah. But makes sense to me. Okay, let's see. Oh, thank you, Susan. Let's get Susan Bradley a card. Susan Bradley, my sweet, sweet Susan. Okay, Susan, let's get you a card, my love. Ooh, they're flying fast today, aren't they? Celebration. Get ready to let your hair down and celebrate. It's time to go out to dance and play. An invitation could be on the way. There you go. Celebration for me, it almost, it just feels like they're really giving me this feeling like good news is coming. It's not just like a party or anything like that. I just feel like good news is on its way. Something that's going to brighten your day, something that's going to make you feel very positive about the future. I just feel like um, it's almost like a new opportunity. There's different things that I feel. It's almost like one is like a new opportunity, job wise or something, maybe, and you're getting a better pay, maybe you're getting a higher function, or maybe there's even a new job that could completely bring more abundance in on all different forms. But either way, on career path, I feel like a new opportunity is coming in. Good news is coming in on that one. But then on the other side, I also feel like on the relationship kind of love department, I feel like good news is coming on that side as well. So maybe a baby. I don't know. For some reason, I keep seeing a baby dancing. I don't know what it means. Maybe there's a child coming in, or there's something connected to the child that will create, yeah, just abundance and a feeling for celebration. It just feels like there's something connected to a baby. Either way, good news is coming, and it's coming very quickly. I feel in the next coming weeks to maybe at the latest within the next 3 months. So either way, good, and all fun and giggles for you. All right. Here we go. Let us know when it comes in. Yeah, I'm not channeling loved ones today. That's for private sessions. I can see if there's a message, if they can pull out a card for you. But these are intuitive sessions. My channelings, that's a whole different level. That's a whole different level. Okay. I have to raise my vibration to a much higher level than I am now. Lero Dunor. Katia Pinta. Pinto, Katia Pinto. Hello, from Portugal. Info about career if possible. Okay. Let's see if we can find if they can give us anything. Let's see what Spirit has to whoop, boink. There they went. You get two. Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good. And then the other one reads, the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. It's all about faith here. Faith, faith, and faith. Okay? It's about transcending fear. Okay? Move forward in a fearless way. Everything we experience in this life is only a step that takes us closer to our truest self, our more authentic person, truth, abundance. Everything is always there to help. So whatever step that it is that you're taking, approach it with the right perception, approach it with the right attitude, the right energy, and that is fearlessly. Trust that everything that comes on your path was meant to be there for a reason. Okay. And if you have that trust in your heart, then there's nothing to be scared about. There's nothing to worry about. Disaster thinking is not necessary. You can relax, you can embrace it, you can fully surrender to the experience that it will give you. Okay, does that make sense? So move forward fearlessly with understanding that everything happens as it is meant to, in order to offer you the opportunity of self-expansion, self-understanding, self-knowledge, and self-love. Okay, so all is good. That is what they want you to know. Okay. Danette Gagnon wants a card for her son, Chris. Okay. Chris. This one. Okay. All right. Let's get a card for Chris. Whoop-ah. Shedding the old. There's a change. Sorry. There's a change coming your way. Cultivate a sense of adventure so you will be able to see the new prospects. Sorry, I'm dyslexic, so sometimes I scribble my stuff. Shedding the old, my love. This is for Chris. Chris, it's time to let go of the limited self, is what they're saying. You are your own worst enemy. You create imprisonment and you chain yourself up because of incorrect beliefs, incorrect definitions that you have allowed yourself to live your life by. It's time to put everything you think you know in the trash can and start anew. It's time to reevaluate and reinvestigate your beliefs and your definitions that you're living life by. You have to go deep into them and try to understand, why am I fearful of this? Why do I respond in this way when something like that happens? Everything is a program that is meant to keep you living small, to keep you hidden from your true self, and to hide your true potential. But you have the power to reemerge that potential. You have the power to free yourself from the change that the chains. It's a hard word for me. The chains um, that you have allowed yourself, to be shackled on. So understand that you and you alone have the power to become free, determined, directed, and loved. But it is you yourself who is allowing the stuckness to continue. So shed the old, start anew, reinvent, it's not about reinvent, redefine. Sorry, they're correcting me. Redefine your life, yourself, and your future, and you will see changes happen very, very quickly once you align with that new version, those new definitions, those new beliefs, and you start to incorporate them in your beingness as Chris. Okay? I hope that helps a little bit. I hope that makes sense. All right. Sunshine. Listen to your recalibration, and I really felt it. Oh, good. Yes, today on Patreon, I posted a recalibration healing video that Spirit wanted me to share with my Patreon group. And because collectively we've gone through such a massive shift that a lot of people are struggling with their sleep patterns, and they acknowledged that, and they said with sleep, we need to get your sleep cycles recalibrated so you can get your deep sleep state again. So we made a Spirit through me made an energy healing recalibration video. So I'm glad that really that helped, Ray Doon. Let's get you a card, my love. Do you remember to listen to it one time or several times? You have to follow your own feelings on that. If you feel like you need to listen to it again, then go ahead and do that. If you feel like, nope, that was good for me, I feel completely recalibrated, then you're good to go. This one. So it really kind of depends person to person how quickly they absorb the energy that's been passed on in the video. If you guys like these angel, for those of you who are not on my Patreon page, I do these every week on Patreon. And this, of course, the groups of people is a lot smaller, so you have a better chance of getting a card. And then I also try to post weekly, either a video or healing video, guided meditation, or a channeling. There's over 200 channeled posts about all different kinds of topics. There's an interview just recently. I did an interview with the captain of the Titanic to know what the real story is beyond a lot of the theories. That was kind of eye-opening. And there's channelings from all different entities and spirits answering your questions about life, about history, the true history, not the fairy tale story they've been giving us, about ETs, about all kinds of stuff, about the moon, and so on and so forth. Guinea pig, Raydoon, do your part to illuminate the universe. Do your part to illuminate the universe. I love guinea pigs. I grew up with guinea pigs. Okay. The thing that I'm getting is just continue to move in the direction you're moving into. Progress is happening. You can't yet fully see that unfold in physical form, but they're validating and confirming that on an energetic level, so much is changing within you and around you. So continue to step on the path that you're on. Continue to embrace what you know to be true. Continue to express freely what you feel, what you receive, and you will see that your connection to spirit communication is far more developed than you think it is. So continue, 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 my love. You're doing really good, and they just wanted to acknowledge that. Okay. All right. Mangusan, is that how you say it? And I'm probably not saying it right. Mangusan? Let's get you a card. Mangusan. Hello. That was fast. I surrender to a greater power than me. And the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. It's time to set yourself free. They're showing me the wings of the butterfly, the wings of the hummingbird. It's time to start carrying yourself into this life. It's almost like they're making me feel like to some degree you're still dependent on others to, and that influences the way you what you attract, what you manifest, and the way you create and design your future tense. It's almost like there's too much of a dependency. This could be being dependent on other people's opinions, being dependent on other people's support, being dependent on other people's love. Whatever the dependency is, there's a dependency that you're always seeking validation, you're always seeking guidance, you're always seeking love, something outside of you. And it's all about becoming an independent individual, trusting one's own wings to carry yourself through the future tense. It's about not needing that support around you to keep you in the air. It's about understanding that you have your own wings. You can flap yourself. And even if something breaks, let's say the branch breaks, you got your wings. You're going to be fine. You're always going to find a way to be okay. You need to start trusting on yourself. Okay. You really need to become that individual that says, you know what? I love to share life with people. I love to share my love with people, but I don't need them to be a abundant, self-sufficient, self-reliant entity. You can flourish and shine all by yourself and share that light with other people, but you need to let go of the dependency, the validation that you're seeking outside of yourself. Because as long as there is a need for validation, support, comfort outside of yourself, there is going to be fear attached to it, and there is a limited, there are limitations. Okay. When you can fly high, free, fully knowing that you've got this, that this is my life, my journey. I am the sole creator of this reality. So all I need to do is trust me, trust my creative skills, trust my in my capacity of emotional change, of emotional acceptance, of emotional growth. You have everything it takes to become independent on all forms while still being a gift to the world. Okay. But it starts with trusting and loving yourself as the divine being that you created yourself to be. Okay. So everything starts with you. All right. I hope that helps. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Susan. Well, every little bit helps, my love. You know I love you. Let's see. Who am I being drawn to? TP Top says, thank you so much for the Jesus channelings. They are most excellent. You're welcome. Yes, on my Patreon page, I channel Yeshua once a month, and he gives our group, our little family, our Patreon family, advice and guidance and truth. And it's kind of, he's always fun. Serenity Hills. Serenity Hills. Let's see. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Oop. My fearless freedom lights up the world. There's a lot of fear still going on. There we go. My fearless freedom lights up the world. I feel Serenity Hills. I feel like the feeling I'm getting is like, it's almost like the world is closing in on you. You're starting to feel claustrophobic in this world. I just feel like you have this sensation that instead of the world getting better, it's just only getting worse, worse, and worse. And there's just more restriction and more negativity, and it's all coming down. Everything is falling on top of you, and you're afraid to be buried alive. And they're kind of saying that is a fear perception. Okay, what you're experiencing right now is the old systems crumbling down, and that from a human perspective can be perceived as very threatening, very scary, very dark. But from a higher perspective, it is perceived as everything crumbling down to create space for new. So it's about changing your perception on the world around you, on your own creation. It's about look, no growth or expansion can occur if everything is a-okay and perfect. Okay, we need to see anything negative, anything uncomfortable, anything unpredicted, okay, anything you didn't expect that brings some kind of anxiety, all that lower vibrational, all those lower vibrational experiences are really opportunities. It is the universe offering you an opportunity for growth, offering you an opportunity to understand how strong you are, to understand that you'll always be okay, to understand that how powerful you are, how resourceful you are, how, everything is there to show you that you're always going to be okay. Because think about it. We've lived this long already, and every year of our lives, there was something we were worried about, scared about, something we thought we would never get over, something we thought would always affect us. And guess what? You're still here. You're still crack-a-lacking. You're still going, and you've overcome all that stuff. Those are all things that happened in the past, and you've transcended it, you've surpassed it, you've utilized it, you've grown from it, you became stronger from it, you got different perspectives from it, your beliefs changed, your everything that happened so far has pushed you in a direction of understanding and discovering your most authentic self in a world that doesn't allow you to be authentic, but that thrives off of fear. And the reason you're uncomfortable is because you are becoming enlightened. because you are acknowledging and understanding, but I don't want that anymore. I don't want the fear anymore. I don't want the darkness anymore. I don't want to be part of that system anymore. And that's why it feels uncomfortable, because you're in a state of resistance of the stuff that no longer resonates with you. So, what do? Instead of focusing on everything that no longer resonates with you, focus on what does. Focus on good things. Focus on things that bring you inspiration, things that make you feel good. You know, I even know people who will watch hours and hours of near death experiences just to make them feel better about this life. Things like that. There's people who watch babies and puppies and dogs doing funny things, whatever it may be. Focus on the things that lift you up. Focus on the things you enjoy. Focus on the things that bring you in a higher vibrational state. And then you'll have a better perspective, a more accurate perspective on the situation. But if you choose to remain in a situation where you feel overpowered, where you feel overwhelmed by the things that no longer resonate with you, you're going to allow yourself, this is you making the choice, we allow ourselves to go in that negative spiral. But it doesn't have to be that way. I look at the world too, and I go, I can see the systems crumbling. I can see the people desperately trying to hold on to this building that's collapsing or something. The systems are broke. They've always been broken. They've been trying to fool us for years that the systems work. They never did. It was all about power. It was all about inequality. It was all about putting people against each other. It was all about overpowering others. They don't work anymore. Why would you want to hold on to something that doesn't work anymore? Okay, so allow it to crumble down, allow it to create chaos, because it's the only way that collectively people will start to stand up, will say, no, no more. We're not taking this shit anymore. We want it to change. People have to be pushed in an uncomfortable place in order for change to occur. And that is what we're seeing now all over the world. And nobody's happy with anything anymore because they're now seeing through the lies, the deceits, deceiving parts, the manipulating parts. So don't feel like you're being pushed down by the darkness, but understand that you're pushing the darkness away by becoming brighter. You want to get rid of the shadows, you got to put a bright light on it. Okay. You have to become that light. All of us, if every single individual would become the light they were meant to be, there would be no more darkness. We would have outshone them. Okay. And that's how you have to see it. Okay. Be the light that pushes the darkness away by choosing to focus on things wisely, by choosing to do things that are more aligned with you, by choosing to do things that work for you, by choosing to do things that feel right to you, and by making sure you become very aware of the music you listen, of the food you eat, of the clothes you wear. Take better care of your beingness. We want a healthier world. Then stop buying the unhealthy stuff. Stop buying plastic clothes. Stop eating food that we know is tainted with all kinds of stuff. Start growing your own food. Okay? Be the light you want to be. Be the change. So many people want change. They want the world, they want this to stop and that to stop, but nobody's changing the way they behave. Okay? Music is all negative. Even if it sounds fake positive, they bring it down to a certain hertz level that is very damaging to us. Okay? But they still keep listening to it. They keep listening to the satanic cults. Okay? We all know who they are, but people still support them. Okay? We want better clothes. We want clothes that breathe, cotton, natural products, but everybody still buys the synthetic stuff. We want better shoes that ground us, but everybody still buys the plastic tennis shoes. The thing is, We have to help each other to make this world a better place. And we can't do it by feeling like the world is crumbling down on us. We have to understand that it is our light, it is our actions and reactions that change the world, not some leader, not people are going to keep promising and promising. They're never going to change. Okay? It's all about power. It's us, regular people, who will change the world by no longer participating. We don't want the multi-billionaires to keep ruining our journeys, yet everybody keeps buying from Amazon. I don't. I don't buy from Amazon. I buy from the single little stores that I find around this place. I try to support the little people. I try to support that. Even if it's a little bit more expensive, I will do my best. It's about supporting each other. Okay? It's about stop supporting exactly that, which makes everything, go into a negative spiral. You have the power to do that. You're the light. Become the light and watch your reality change. Okay? Woo, that was me going in a frenzy. Sorry about that. Sometimes I have those moments where I need another paper. My paper is full of names. Let me get another paper. Can I use this one? Yes. Okay. Hopefully I didn't scare her. Okay. I can be sometimes straight in your face. I do apologize for that. Okay. Natalia Kuzminova. Oh, my darling. You and that job. Let's see what they say about the job. Butterfly, be ready to transform with wisdom. And then you also have Badger. Bring your life into balance, my love. You are the balance you are seeking outside of yourself. As long as you're not balanced, your outside world will not be balanced. Your fears are still being projected back to you through your work environment. Okay, you still have to work on understanding that your outer reality is impacted by your inner reality. If you're fearful of something, or you're always wondering what they're saying behind your back, then guess what? They're going to start doing that. That's the reality you're going to attract. And it doesn't mean that's intentional. It's just something that you're creating, you're manifesting without you even wanting to manifest that. But the universe doesn't know what you want. The universe knows who you are. And if you are in that state of worry, you're always going to create problems or attract problems in your environment. Okay, so bring your life into balance. You need to be confident. You need to stop worrying about what other people are doing. You need to find joy in your job just by doing it for yourself. You're not doing it to impress people. You're not doing it to to stop other people from gossiping or bringing you down or saying negative things about you. Do it for you. Do it because you love the job. Do it because you want to prove to yourself that you can be the best salesman in the world. Okay, you need to understand that your outside world is a mirror. Everything you worry about, everything you feel inside, everything you even if it's hidden in the back of a closet, if you're worried of judgment, if you're worried of people talking behind your back, trying to get you fired, then that's the result you're going to see in the outside world. You're reflecting that back. You want to change the outside world, you have to change you. Because if you look at yourself in the mirror, the only way that reflection is going to change is if you change. Okay, you can't make that reflection smile until you smile. That's how the reality works as well. Everything is energetic, and other entities, other souls will respond and reflect back to you what you're sending out to them. So become more balanced within yourself. Be ready to transform with wisdom. You know this. You have this information. You have it on an intellectual level, but you're not reflecting that into your energy field. Okay. So you have it as an idea, a mental construct, but it's not infusing into your energetic field. Energetically, you are out of balance with what you know to be true until those become balanced and you start to feel that truth. Only then will the outside picture and how those outside people approach you will that change. Does that make sense? So keep working on that because you have the wisdom. Look at this wonderful butterfly that you are becoming, okay? But work more on becoming your truth and balancing out. Let go of the anxiety, let go of the disaster scenario thinking, and live a peaceful, fearless life. And only then will you start seeing the changes in the people around you as well. Okay? Super, super, super important, my love. Okay. Tara Parker. Should she move in with her best friend or boyfriend? I don't know, BF. Boyfriend or best friend? Maybe they're both. Could be could be the same. BF or boyfriend. I'm assuming it's a boyfriend. Hi, Santa Claus. Santa joined the chat. Denise says, I love it when you talk about energy, then my screen starts flickering. Well, I can get very passionate about what I'm getting. So it's probably like, yeah. Explore fullness, Tara. Explore fullness. And emotions are energy in motion. You got two cards, number 35, number 18. Okay. The answer to your question is yes. It's about exploring, going on an adventure, exploring the unknown, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You tend to be kind of protective of your own self. And that's okay because you've been hurt in the past. But they're saying allowing yourself to be vulnerable while knowing that no one can hurt you unless you allow them to will give you a more fuller experience of the relationship, of the experience itself. When we move into a new adventure with simply an attitude of being excited to see where every day will lead up to without giving yourself a preconceived idea of, man, it needs to look like this in the future. Let go of that. Okay. Live in the moment. Every experience, every day is important. Every experience should be lived in the here and now, fully, without limitation. Allow yourself to emerge in every connection, every experience together, every experience individually, and see it all as just energy in motion. Okay. If you look at this card, there's like two snakes. There's one in the foreground and then like one in the back. But you see how they're kind of intertwined in a balanced way. And that's, when we allow ourselves to be who we are without judgment, and we just love each other for who we are, uh, in our own perfectly imperfect way, then freedom and liberty come from that union. Okay, to allow each other to freely be who we are while embracing and encouraging each other to love unconditionally, to dream unconditionally, and to create unconditionally. Okay, Tara, so you go for it. Go, go, go. All right. Sylvia, my love. Hello, Sylvia. Should I forgive my sister for the way she and her family treated my son and me? I feel it's unforgivable. Let's see. Let's see what the cards say. This one. You're welcome, Natalia. Whoop. Crown activation, number 11. Very powerful number, Sylvia. Number 11. Okay, so what they're showing me is crown activation. It's about really looking at it from a different angle. It's about transcending the shame and blame story. It's about understanding. You see how you got these kind of eyes here, and then you have these flowers here, and in the flowers there's kind of like little white specks. It's very subtle. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's almost like frozen roses. Look at it from a different angle. What it is teaching you, the opportunity it is giving you, is to transcend blame story. It's about embracing everybody's journey with love, and it's about allowing yourself to not agree with the actions and the reactions that have been experienced from them, but to still embrace the fact that they are souls that are always eternally linked to you. Okay, so it's about forgiveness, but not so much for what they did to you, but forgiveness for you to let go of the blame story, the blame consciousness, because that blame energy always keeps you rooted into a 3D reality. It keeps you anchored into a negative vibration. So forgive for you, so you can let go of that energy once and for all, so you can embrace that that was their decision, that was their action and reaction. It was a conscious choice, and that's okay. It does not need to hurt you anymore. It does not need to harm any of you anymore. What is done is done. Accept the challenge, accept the journey, and transcend the blame energy. Be released from it and let it go. Okay? I hope that helps. Let's see. Kayla. Kayla's just gone through a breakup. Oh, Kayla. Let's see. You're welcome, hon. Kayla. Let's get a message for Kayla. Whoop. There it went. Rhinoceros. Be strong and courageous. First card. Second card. Shark. Lead as a powerful, peaceful warrior. Both shark and rhinoceros, very, very powerful enemies. They are independent. If you look at a rhinoceros, a lot of times they're on their own. Okay. Unless you have a mama with a baby, but most of the time they're on their own. Same with sharks. They It's about allowing this experience to move you into becoming more emotionally independent, but also to continue to embrace love. Okay. We have to understand that people will come and go into our journey, and certain people are only there for a short amount of time to make something clear to you, to help you realize something about yourself. And what this relationship has taught you is what you want in a relationship and what you don't want in a relationship. So embrace it with love. Be grateful for the experience. Be grateful for that soul who was willing to participate in this journey and go on a little adventure with you. And understand that it is knowledge and wisdom that you will take with you into a new relationship in the future. But until then, it's about becoming that force to be reckoned with. It's about saying, you know what? I don't need anyone to make me feel complete, to make me feel whole, to make me feel loved. I can do all of that for myself. And until that day comes that a new relationship comes in, I will continue to work on that. And I will eventually get to a point where I will be emotionally independent, but I will be able to share, create memories, and to create a future with someone who is just as loving, independent, and connected as I am. Okay. Because when we can become emotionally independent, then we are no longer in a state of need. I need a relationship to feel better. I need a relationship to fix me. I need a relationship to feel whole in this world. I need a relationship to be a witness of my journey. Otherwise, it has no value. All of those are false statements, false truths. Okay. Only when we get to a stage in our life where we don't need anything, we stop fearing anything. Okay. A person who doesn't need anything does not fear anything, but we can still be the light, the giver of joy, the giver of experiences, the giver of memories. We can still live life to the fullest, share every bit of love that we have without being in need of the other person. Okay. So that is what you're mastering, my dear Kayla. All right. I hope that helps. Okie dokie, artichoke. Who else am I being drawn to today? Amy McFarland. Amy McFarland. Hello, sweet Amy. Sucking in too much air. Let's see here. Card for Amy. Amy, you've got two as well. I choose love no matter what, and the universe has your back. And I'm really being drawn to the pink color. See how the moon is pink? It's kind of like a blood moon. Amy, you're feeling kind of lonely lately. You're feeling kind of left without support, and they're kind of confirming, nope, we're still there. I feel like they're just confirming they are still with you. Your spiritual team has your back. But what you're going through right now is kind of a recalibration phase. Okay. You're really in a phase of nothingness. You're in between worlds. And that kind of makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you feel maybe a little bit lost. It makes you feel like disconnected from people, from the world. It makes you feel like you're kind of on your own at this moment, looking at an unknown future. And they're saying, look, and what you're going through is very normal. You're disconnecting from one dimension, trying to move into another dimension. So you're in the middle of both worlds. You're in nowhere's land. And it's in that nowhere's land that the universe allows the opportunity, the time, the energy for you to really reevaluate yourself and reevaluate what you want to experience in this new dimensional plane. So take the time to take things slow, bring everything back to basics. Okay, don't overcomplicate things, don't force things to happen. Just allow every day to unfold as it's meant to, and really allow yourself the time, the patience to work on one's own creation, work on developing one's own idea of what your new world should look like, what you want to experience in that new world, what you want to attract, and so on and so forth. So find your passion, find your joy, find your inspiration, and accept that at this time everything is going to be a little bit on a slow pace. Master patience, but also master acceptance that it is exactly the way it's meant to be at this time for a reason. Okay, there's a reason behind everything. There's a reason that you're being kind of that your sense of time and space is a little bit altered right now. Okay, so embrace it, embrace yourself, continue to move forward one day at a time, and make the best out of every day. All right, I hope that helps. Dila, am I saying that right? Dilah, Dila or Dila? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Let's get a card. Dila, I'll call you Dila. I'm not really sure. Number 17, clear limiting beliefs. You're still holding on to limiting beliefs. Your actions and reactions are automatic responses from incorrect beliefs. You're still holding on to the program of fear. You're still holding on to the illusion that you have to do the impossible just to get a sliver of something nice, that the world is out to get you, that everything is hard and you have to go through hell to get to something nice. All of those are incorrect beliefs that have been programmed into us, that you're not worthy, that you're not strong enough, you're not financially stable enough, you're not, whatever it may be, that are limiting your existence. Understand that it is your beliefs, what you know to be true, what you accept to be true, that shapes your tomorrow. Okay, so understand that what you do today shapes your tomorrow. So become very mindful of your thoughts, your feelings, the energy you're sending out, the actions and reactions that you're having, and start to transform them. When we become more mindful, we become more observant, observant, observant. There you go. Observant. I'm not American. Okay. English is not my main language. So sometimes I struggle. Okay. I'm European. Anyway, become more observant of your behavior, your thoughts, your feelings. If you see any, or you remark any feelings or thoughts or feelings that are not aligned with what your truth is intellectually, or contradicts that truth, then instantly start to change it in the moment, right? For example, a lot of people have the belief, and which is 100% true, there is no lack. Okay, abundance is everywhere. Abundance can come to you out of nothing. Okay, because everything comes from nothing. Okay, everything starts with an idea, creation in the mind, an imaginary vision, and will come into reality. That everything comes from the imaginary. Okay, but yet, despite that knowing, we're still constantly choosing to experience the idea of lack. Okay, I don't have enough of this, I don't have enough of that, I can't afford that, I can't do this, and I can't do that because I don't have the funds for it. We have to align what we know to be true with how we act and react. Okay. um, uh, Same thing with love. I deserve love. I know I deserve love. But then your emotional state, for example, will say the opposite of that. You know, I'm not good enough. I'm not good looking enough. I'm not this enough. I'm not that enough. I'm not worthy of love. It's about making sure that what your beliefs are telling you are aligning with truth. Okay. You have to become your truth. They can't just stay in the mind. They can't just stay ideas. You have to act upon them. It has to infuse you, your every body, your every move, your every cell. What you know to be true has to become a part of you. Okay, they can't just stay in the headspace. So work on observing yourself, be more mindful, and remove incorrect beliefs or transform them into more accurate truths. Okay. So I hope that helps. It's only then when those answers will be coming, okay? Because the truth is you're lost because you don't recognize who you are, and your mind and your heart are in two different places. This is in a fearful place, and this is only telling you incorrect truths. So we need to adopt truth, transform the heart space, and then the answers will find you. You're the one stepping on the brake, okay? Because how can you choose, how can you design your future if you don't even know who you are today? You can't. So many people are always looking ahead, and they don't even know who they are now. They have no control over their emotions. They have no control over their headspace. Everything is a program. They're on autopilot. If you're on autopilot and you're just going through the programs that were installed into you to keep you small, to keep you limited, to keep you feel lesser than yourself, then your future is just going to be a representation of that. So don't try to figure out the future yet until you have figured out who you are, and you become that person. Only then will the answers come for your future sense or your future tense. Okay? I don't know if that makes any sense, but I hope so. Alrighty. Let's see. Who else? Rianne Dirks. Rianne Dirks. I don't know if I say that right. Your English is perfect. It's not, but thank you. It's perfectly imperfect because I make it my own. All right. Rianne Dirks. I was not raised with English. But you know what's weird? When I was little, I never had an English class, but yet my head always talks in English, even as a little girl. And I remember watching the BBC. I was like 4 or 5, and my mom was like, "You understand what they're saying?" I'm like, "Yeah." I never took a class of English, never. So I was born speaking English in my head. Even now, it's always English. I've never spoken in my mother tongue in my head. Isn't that weird? That's weird, right? Spirit explained to me is because I've had a lot of English speaking experiences on this world. Okay, Rianne, dog, be disciplined in your home and community life. I mostly hear the world. Also, I'm dyslexic, so bleh, sometimes I get everything weird mingled up. Self-discipline. That's the word that keeps popping in my head. Self-discipline. You need to, Rian, you need to work on self-discipline. You need to become the master of self. You need to become balanced. There's two aspects of you in this reality, your higher soul aspect and your human ego character. Okay. But although they're separate, um, perspectives and they're present in separate dimensions, they are interlinked. You see how their circles are connected. You guys are one and the same entity, but having two different experiences of the same life. Okay, the higher experience has much more wider perspective, knows exactly how to get you to have the experience that you as one entity want to have. And then you have the human ego. Now, the human ego is only here to have the physical experiences. And that's where most people struggle. They don't listen. They don't listen to the higher perspective, who knows everything, who knows what it wants to experience, how to get there, who has all the answers because it has a wider view. Okay, we always try to figure out life with the human ego, but the human ego is just simply here to have the physical experiences while receiving guidance from the higher perspective. Okay, and that's the thing, these two have to work together. You guys have to be a team. You're one and the same entity, but with different views. Okay, so you got to become one. And how do you do that? By living according to your intuition, even if it's from the human mind, completely not logic. Your higher self knows exactly where it's going to lead up to. You have to trust it, you have to follow it, and you have to allow the experience to occur and embrace all experiences that you're being guided to by your higher self, because it is for your own benefit. Okay, so stop making decisions with the human ego and just trust what you feel. Those are the right answers that you're seeking. That is the guidance that needs to unfold in physical form. Okay, follow your heart space, follow your intuition, do whatever you can to expand that intuition, to trust it, to utilize it. Start small things. And then over time, it will grow and you will start to live your entire life according to the direct connection from your higher soul. Okay, this is your telephone line. This is where he or she talks to you. Okay, but you got to work together. You're always connected. You're one entity with different perspectives, but we need to acknowledge that the human ego is simply here to have the physical experience and to follow what the higher perspective of self is creating. Okay, we need to get out of our own way. Like me, I only follow my intuition 100%, and I always have since I was a kid. And I've had the craziest ideas, and I've done the craziest things, and my parents have shook their heads so many times in my life. But you know what? I've had the best adventure so far. I've had ups and downs. I've had challenges up the wazoo, and look at me go. I am still having fun in life. I am still experiencing and attracting wonderful things, miraculous experiences. I am connecting to wonderful souls on a daily basis who are allowing me to be a part of their life and to be a part of their guiding system, and it's not about ego, it's not about money, it's not about power, it's just feeling good in life. Okay, and it took me a while to get there too, to understand that this ego always wants something that seems untangible. But if we follow the guidance of the higher soul, of our intuition, it always gets us to those experiences, but in a way that we never even saw possible. I never expected to do this and to reach millions of people all around the world. I never expected to talk to the whole world, every day. But that's the thing. It gives you what you want, but you have to trust it and follow it blindly without you having all the answers. I had zero answers. I still have zero answers. I don't know where my tomorrow is going to lead up to. I don't know what my plans are for my higher self in the next 10 years. I don't know, and I don't need to know. All I need to know is, what can I do today to make this the best day ever and to be in the right frequency so that my tomorrow experience will be just as pleasant. That's all I need to know. My higher soul will figure out the rest, and all I got to do is flow with it, go with it, enjoy it, embrace all experiences, even the challenging ones, and see it all as positive reinforcement of my own creation. Okay? So, Rianne, you've got work to do, my darling. Okay. Let's see. Sharon. Sharon Finder. Any messages regarding the cat me and my mom have been trying to rescue? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, ride the wave, man. Man, I've been all over the world. It's crazy. You know, I would have never thought all the stuff that I've experienced beyond my wildest dreams, you know, but everything led me to being here today and actually having something I've been dreaming, you know, having my own little farm and growing my own food and doing something I love and you know, connecting to something higher. I've always been connected. I got scared when I was little because I was always hearing voices and I could feel like somebody was staring at me, but I couldn't see them. I was scared in the dark. I was scared to go to bed. I was always looking under my bed. I looked under my bed till I was 18 years old. I always knew I was being stared at, that there was someone there, but I couldn't connect to him because I was kind of in a fucked up place after my grandfather raped me and I went into a very negative spiral. Anyway, that's a story for something else. Okay, dimensional gateway, an invitation number 33. Okay. 1, understand that you can manifest everything to move into your direction, but everything will unfold much quicker if you just simply surrender to the outcome, the natural outcome. Okay. When it comes to the cat, though, it's almost like it's kind of like absent for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but I almost feel either the cat is no longer there, or he got rid of the cat, or he killed the cat. Whatever the situation may be, I know you're fighting for a cat, but it just feels like at some point, I don't know. I just feel absence. So, however it unfolds is something you just have to allow it to unfold naturally. Follow what feels right to you. It just feels like, you know, when it comes to authorities, you know, because I'm asking in my head, is there, you know, can they maybe connect to authorities of, you know, animal abuse or whatever? It almost feels like you're not going to get much help on that end, to be honest. But it just feels like envision the end result. Keep in your heart that that is the desired intention, but I will accept all, however it is meant to unfold. It sounds like you have to combine both. This is what we would love to see, but we are in a full state of acceptance that everything unfolds as it is meant to. Okay, the more you surrender to a positive outcome for all parties involved, the more you trust that the universe will create that positive outcome, the quicker you're going to see a resolution. Okay, so it's all about trust, 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 Sharon. I know it's hard to do because we want to intervene and we want to do action and reaction, but sometimes we have to send out the right energies, send out the right requests, the right intentions, talk to people about the situation, share the burden, and it just feels like, you know, either, you know, an answer will come. But for some reason, there's something about the absence of the cats. So I don't know. Let me know if something unfolds on that, but I don't know where the absence of the cat comes in. I'm not getting much clarity on that. It just feels like she's there and she's not there. So I don't know if she's transitioned or if he's done something to her, or I don't know, but it just feels like something feels off, but everything is as it's meant to. Okay, but sometimes we cannot force our will upon the natural outcome of things for other souls. Okay, so forcing things isn't going to bring closure or resolution, but sending out the right intentions, sending out the right energy, communicating to people about this who might be able to offer guidance or insight, and trust and surrender to the universal flow of things. Okay, I hope that helps. Okay, Clara Ximena Pachon. Am I saying that right? Let's get you a card. Which one? Okay. Sorry for the experience. I was molested as a child and it controlled my life for a long time, but now I love myself so much and moved on and see life is beautiful. Yes. Yeah, it took me a long time too. I was in such survival mode. I was becoming a hermit. I didn't have friends. I didn't trust anybody. I had panic attacks, anxiety attacks, suicide thoughts, suicide dreams. Pretty much spent years in my bedroom. And then I decided enough is enough. And I left for America and I traveled all by my lonesome trying to figure out who I was. And then I started looking into meditation and Buddhism, and yeah, shit opened up with that. Shit came back from when I was a kid. I was like, okay. That changed a lot. It's time to shine, Clara, number 42. It's time to shine. Yeah, and it's even worse when the abuse comes from a person who's supposed to love you. You know, my grandfather and my grandmother knew, but she didn't do anything about it. And I never told my parents. It's a whole long story. They were going through their own trouble, and I was trying to protect everybody. I just didn't want to add more fire to the fire. So I kept it to myself, and I think my husband was the first person I actually told. And then he said, you have to tell your parents. But by then I was already an adult, so, you know, they were pretty shocked when I told them. But it made sense, you know, because for years I was struggling mentally, and they didn't know why or how they could help. And, you know, but that's okay. I pulled myself through it, and I needed to go through that. And I've totally embraced everything. And, you know, I don't wish it upon anyone. I hope in my new world, I envision all children being safe and protected. That's my version of the new world. Being able to play outside again without fearing being kidnapped or trafficked or used for organ harvesting. And there's such horrible things out there in that 3D world, but not in the 5D. Ain't gonna happen. I am not allowing it. Okay. It's time to shine, Clara. I just feel like you're this warrior entity, this warrior spirit who wants to roar like a tiger and wants to have the world pay attention to her, but your self-esteem and the trust in self is still lacking, and that's why you think smaller of yourself than you really are. You are a force to be reckoned with. It's time that you speak up. I keep seeing this throat chakra. You need to open up. You need to stop being afraid of being judged for what you say or being labeled or any of that. None of that matters. What matters is that you allow yourself to freedom to be completely you, 100% you, to speak your truth, to let your truth be heard, and to let go of the need for other people to accept your truth. Okay? The only one who needs to accept her truth is you. Okay? You can only share it with people. How they utilize that truth, how they utilize that information, that divine communication is up to them. It is not up to you. You are not responsible for the choices they make. You are not responsible for their happiness, but you are responsible to yourself to allow yourself to be the most authentic version of yourself, to not feel like you need to limit what you say or or change what you say in a way that will be accepted for other people. Just be you 100% and be bloody proud of it. Okay, you are the queen of your reality. Okay, this is you. The moon and the stars are with you. The sun and the moon is guiding you, is enlightening you, and you're looking at yourself. This is the outer reflection. If you become the roaring tiger in your reality that speaks your truth, that no longer holds back in order to please people or in order to, because you're fearing people, then you will see that glory into your reality. Okay, you will be praised for the king that you are, the queen that you are. You will be praised for the enlightened soul that you are. Okay, but first you have to let go of the fear. You have to let go of minimizing yourself. You're bigger than you can possibly imagine, so start living accordingly. All right, Laura. Okay, let's get a card for Laura. This one. Hope is a conduit for miracles, Laura. You want to see miracles in your life, you got to believe in them. Okay. You want to see change, you got to know that change is possible. What you know to be truth becomes your truth. That's how the universe operates. The frequency you live by is the frequency you receive. That's how much the universe loves you. It gives you everything that you are in twice fold. Okay, but you got to remain in a hopeful state. Okay, you're feeling defeated. You're feeling lost. You're feeling like I have no clue anymore. I'm just waking up, trying to get through my day, go back to bed. You're not seeing the abundance that you want to see. You're not seeing the joy that you want to see. You're not experiencing the inspiration and the passion that you would like to have. And the reason they're saying the reason that you're not having those experiences is because you are paralyzed on the emotional center. It means that, a lot of times that happens when people are hurt in the past, or people go through extreme insecurities or bullying, or parents being too strict, or whatever it may be. A lot of things can occur in our past that kind of guides us to want to try and protect ourselves. So we start to lock up the emotional center, and then we can't really have emotions on a very intense level. Just think of a kid. Kids have their emotional center is wide open. So when they feel something, they allow themselves to feel it on such a deep level that it almost feels like the world's going to end when their balloon lifts off into the air and they lost their balloon, for example. But the same thing counts with joy. When they get that balloon, oh my God, the universe is good. They are excited. They are feeling bubbly, prickly. Everything lights up like a Christmas tree inside of their bodies. Every cell is happy. Okay, that's because they don't have those limitations yet. But we go through things in life and we start to limit what we feel because we don't want to get hurt again. And so eventually all these different things start to add up, and we become paralyzed in our emotional center, and our brain will say, you're happy, it's Christmas, it's a good time, be happy, but you're not feeling it with any fiber of your body. It is just a thought that tries to convince you that this is a good time and you should be happy about it. Does that make sense? So in order to open that up, to get back into that higher vibrational space, you have to really work on mindfulness training. Okay, they're really kind of recommending the mindfulness training here because it'll get you reconnected to your body, to your vessel, and to your emotional center and your thought center. Okay, really see if you can get some exercises, get some training in that for yourself, or move into hypnosis. Hypnosis sessions can help to unlock all of that again. But again, we need to unlock the emotional center. It worked for you back then when you needed to protect yourself, but now it is hindering you from living life to the fullest, from experiencing everything to the fullest, and everything just becomes blah. Okay, everything becomes paralyzed, and you just feel like you're going through the motions without having any kind of real experience that means something on a deep level. Okay, so do whatever you can. There's different modalities out there: energy healing, acupuncture, Reiki, mindfulness training is what helped me to unlock that emotional center, to allow yourself to cry your owls out, to have massive ups and downs, to act like a frantic person, a frantic lady. We're so trained that as women, we can't be over emotional, we can't be under emotional. There's always something that's not right? There's always something. But you know what? You need to be emotional. The emotional center is the key, the doorway to spirit communication, to the higher vibrational states. Everything for me, when I channel on a higher level, comes through the emotional center. I get overwhelmed with feelings, and then that merges and moves into the headspace where I start seeing things, and I start hearing things, and sometimes even smelling things. So this is the lock that needs to be unlocked so you can expand spiritually, so you can truly start to live life on a level where you actually feel it, where you actually have the experience and can be guided by your higher soul. But as long as this is locked up, your intuition is basically zilch. Your guidance will feel like there's no guidance. You'll just feel like I'm all alone in this. This is what needs to be unlocked. So do whatever you can, Laura, to unlock it, and you will see that the way you experience your world, the way you connect to the higher realms, is going to open up and burst open into a new experience of life. And then you will find that joy, that passion, that inspiration, and that guidance that you've been seeking for quite some time. Okay. I hope that helps, my love. Okay, hold on. I'm going to turn my page around. These are old names. All right. Lexus. Card for Lexus. Hello, everybody. For all of you guys who are not on my Patreon page, I'm going to write it down here. Hold on. Know that I do these angel card readings every week. And I also post weekly on my Patreon, either channeled posts, which are usually pretty long, 2 to 3 pages long, guided meditation videos, healing videos, a little bit of everything, channelings of spirits. Hold on, I'm not really good at typing. Boom. There you go. We'll put that on top. There you go. You can go there and sign up. I think it's like €5 or something, $5 per month. You can subscribe and cancel at any time and resubscribe. Some people will go for a month and then they come back in another few months. You will always have access to the past posts. And like I said, there's over 200 channels posts in there now. And then a whole bunch of other stuff. So go check it out. Lexus. Gray squirrel. Find new ways of solving problems. And then guinea pig. Do your part to illuminate the universe. The answers are within you, is what I'm getting in my head. The answers are within you, Lexus. You need to start trusting your inner guidance. Here it is again. Look, you are receiving constant guidance. And you know you are, they say. You know you are, but you're still like, is it really that? Or am I just imagining it? Imagination is the foundation of everything. Everything sparks from imagination, okay? Even Einstein knew that. Trust your imagination. If you don't know whether it's imagination or reality, guess what? They're both the same, okay? Reality sparks from imagination, okay? So they're both equally real. Validate. They want you to acknowledge you're the creator of your universe, but if you're constantly dismissing the communication, then you're constantly blocking more communication from coming in. Acknowledge, acknowledge, acknowledge. If you don't want to believe it, then fake it to make it. The more you acknowledge, the bigger the validation comes without you seeking validation. Do not seek validation. Seeking validation comes from fear. You are afraid that if you don't get the validation, that you might just be crazy. Be like me. Allow yourself to be crazy and fester in it. Okay? It is a good thing to be crazy. Okay? Crazy is what makes us out of this world in a very positive way. Okay? We need to be crazy. We need to be cuckoo. We need to believe in what we know to be true, even if it doesn't align with other people's truth. You know it's to be true, then embrace it, okay? Stop telling yourself it might not be true because of what you've been taught in the past, okay? Believe in magic. Everything they told you is opposite. Magic is real. Reality is fake, okay? If you can think of it, it exists at some form, in some dimension, in some reality. It's as simple as that. Because God is everything and everything is God, and it all comes from the same consciously creative source that allows all to be created. Everything that is and everything that is not is the same conscious creator. Okay? Everything starts from nothing. If you can think it, if you can feel it, it will be it. But you have to align heart and knowing. Knowing and heart needs to be aligned. They need to be in the same place, because you can believe something and your heart is saying the opposite. I believe in life after death. We don't die, and then people are terrified of dying. They'll try to avoid everything they can to avoid the death. Their actions and reactions are matching, trying to avoid getting hurt or die. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? Those are contradictive energies, and nothing comes from that. These two have to be aligned. I am not afraid of death, therefore I don't need to fear anything. There's nothing they can do to me. They can take my life, but they can't take me, because this version is not me. I am much bigger than this. Therefore, I do not need to fear anyone. Does that make sense? You have to. That's where most people struggle. What they believe and know to be true does not align with how they feel and react in life. Trust, acknowledge, you are receiving, you are getting messages, you are always connected. Every single soul out here is. You all have a team. You all have not just a spiritual team that guides you intensely, but you also have a console. In those entities, it's usually about between 10 and 12 entities. They are observers of your journey and register everything into the archives of the universe. So they observe every minute of your day. So if you think that you're alone, and if you think that you need someone to validate your journey, to be worthy of something, to be valuable, that you need a witness, you're always being witnessed by at least minimum 10 entities. 10. So trust me, you can live your life single for the rest of your days, having fun. Somebody is witnessing and registering your journey into the energetic archives of the universe. You can't be alone. It's not possible because you are everything. You're just different expressions of the same source. So how can you be alone when you and everybody around you and everything around you and every animal and every plant is a version of you that is different than this current conscious creation? Not possible. It's just simply not possible. Anyway, Alexis, you're connecting, validate it, accept it, express it, and then the validations will come to you without you even needing them. But don't go seeking for validation because that is fear-based behavior. Okay? I always get validations and I don't even seek them. I don't need them. I know that as long as I follow what I receive, it is truth. Okay? Even if I can't see it yet from the human eyes, or even if I'm like, okay, even if it sounds very kooky, I will accept it anyway. And over time, it could be a week, it could be a day, it could be an hour. Somehow I will receive validation. Always. Either somebody sends me a video and say, hey, listen to this is pretty cool. And that person will exactly validate what I just received. And then I go, thanks for the validation. I don't need it, but thanks anyway. Validation comes when you don't seek it. Okay? Because what you will attract will align with what you just sent out, what you just received and expressed and allowed into your reality. You will attract something similar that will validate just that. Okay? Make sense? So, Alexis, you're doing it right. Just keep working on it, okay? Work on yourself. Work on what you're sending out. All right. Have a good day at work, Susan. Yeah, that's what my guys always tell me. Reality is fake. Magic is real. What they have you believe as being reality is completely made up. Our story, or origin story, our history, it's just a fairy tale that they align to such a degree so it will allow us to have a certain vibration and to remain in a certain vibration and to operate from a certain vibration. Okay? The magic is real. Fairies, Bigfoot, they're all out there. They're just living, they're interdimensional beings. They're living on different frequencies of an earth at some level of vibration. Okay? Okay. All right, we're going to do Patty. Thanks, Patty, for that. I'm going to do Patty, and then I'm going to do a group card for all of you who are currently here to help all of you. Seems that the father of my children wants to disconnect from us by not spending time or showing life towards us. Okay, let's see. Let's see what the message is. Which one? This one. Okay. See, I live only in possibility. I refuse to live in limitation. And that is probably what allows me to do what I do. And I've always been that way. I've always been a rebel at heart. Everything they told me in school, I was like, I don't agree with that. What? I need to ask permission to go to the bathroom? I never did. I always got in trouble, but I didn't care. It was worth it. I would just get up and I said, I'm going to the bathroom. Hell, I'm going to ask to go to permission to go to the bathroom. Well, you can say no. Well, then I'll pee on your chair. What about that? I've always been a rebel. I hated school. Anytime that tried to limit me and brainwash me, I was like, not my reality. And I'm still like that. Gotta be a rebel in this system, man. They told me you can't do Latin. You're not smart enough. Well, just tell me so I can't do something. I'll show you. I graduated in Latin. That's what you think. Oh, you can tell me I can't. You're too dumb to do it. That's basically what they told my parents. They were like, we advise that she takes a different direction. She's not smart enough for that. What does it say on my diploma? Latin science. That's how you do it. I've always been that way. I love it. I love that part about me because I'm like, oh, really? No, my reality. You don't get to say what I get to do. And I will show you. All right. Love where you are, Patty. Use your sensitivity to know when to act. Connect your heart to your head when determining what you would like. I have no clue what I just read. My dyslexia got a hold of me. Hold on. I keep looking at the squirrely thing. It just feels like this infinite pool of possibility. It's like there's a direction, there's a direction, there's a direction, there's a direction. For some reason, I just feel like infinite possibility in this situation. It's almost like allow things to unfold, right? Allow things to unfold. We all have to follow our own flow, our own rhythm, our own direction. It's an opportunity for all entities involved to master their own emotional reactions, their own thoughts, their own understandings of life. Relationships come and go, people come and go, even close relationships. Parents come and go in certain children's lives. It is a part of the experience that all souls intended to have in order to push them into individuality and independency on an emotional level. So whatever is happening, Patty, over there, it just feels like, look, embrace it all with a loving perspective. There is reason and intention for everyone's behavior or their actions and reactions, and it's going to lead to expansion of all in all shapes and forms. So utilize this opportunity to increase for you, for your loved ones, for whoever is affected by this, to increase their own sense of self, their own sense of emotional mastery and emotional balance, and to become an independent source of fulfillment in all aspects and shapes and forms, but also to be able to forgive and allow every individual to make choices for their own journey without us needing to judge them or move into a space of negativity and anger and so on and so forth. We need to allow every soul to be free to make the decisions that they see fit for themselves, but they also need to understand that whatever flows out of those reactions is also their responsibility. You are not responsible for the actions and the reactions, and whatever experience will manifest from those decisions. Okay. But it is about acceptance, it is about forgiveness, and it is about reinforcement of the self and helping others to do the same. So approach it with that with that perspective is what they're saying. Approach it and embrace it with love and allow things to unfold. Um, Everything is leading up to expansion of the souls. Okay, does that kind of make sense? I know it sounds kind of weird, but um, we cannot control other people's actions and reactions, but we can control our own. Okay, we don't have to move into a native state just because someone is making a decision that from our perspective might not be the best decision to make. But we have to honor and respect everyone's decision and understand that everything leads to expansion. Okay, I hope that helps a little bit to bring some clarity. Let's get a card for the group. And then I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Whoop, there it went. That was the fast one. Number 44, beacon, shine on. Well, if that's not clear, then I don't know what is. Okay, shine on, my sweet light workers. You're all a bright, shining light here to enlighten the world with your presence, with your gifts. And what is the gift? You. You are the gift. The choices you make, the person you choose to be, the teachings you're choosing to teach, not by standing in front of a classroom and preaching, but by how you choose to live your life, how you choose to act and react. People learn from other people. People learn by example. Be the example you want to see in this world. Live your life the way you want to see others live their life. Be the light you want to see in this life. Okay, that's how we will create, because the 5D reality is already there. Most of us are already in there. We're energetically connected to the 5D, but it takes time for our creation to turn into physical reality. And that's what we're waiting for. Okay. That's why now is such a crucial time for everybody. Envision your 5D world. Start acting as if you're already in the 5D world. Start making sure that your actions, your reaction, that everything lines up with your truth, with what you choose to desire in this world. Already act it out today so we can then bring it into physical reality. Because right now, the 5D construct is still a energetic construct. It is not in physical form yet. And that's why so many people are confused. Well, I thought we were in the 5D. We are. We're connected to its energetic structure, the blueprint. The energetic blueprint is there, but we still need to decide and feed the manifestation of the physical form. Okay. And that's why use these years, this year, next year, should be about year 2, 3 before we start seeing something really come into physical form, to design and send out the intentions for the desired 5D reality. Okay, so yes, you're in 5D. If you're here on this platform, I can guarantee you've already been connected to the 5D. Okay, but understand that manifestation in physical form takes time in a lower dimension. Okay, if you're in the 18th dimension, which is where heaven sort of starts, it's instant. Manifestation is instant because there is no physical form there. Physicality is a low vibrational frequency. Okay, the illusion of physicality. Nothing is really physical. It's just energy in motion, molecules bumping into empty space, creating the illusion of a physical table. But this table isn't physical. If I would change the vibration of the molecules, I would be able to go through it with my hands. I would be able to walk through the wall. That's how certain ETs do it. They change the vibration of the wall and they walk through it. Okay. Everything is about frequency. But in order for us to have the illusion of physicality and have that experience, that kind of, touch the touch kind of thing, It has to remain in a certain vibration to have the illusion of physicality. Does that kind of make sense? So therefore, manifestation in physical form, to create that illusion of physicality, takes more time because it operates from a lower frequency. Now, in a 5D reality, we are moving up in frequency, but and manifestations will come quicker than they used to. But there's still a time delay. Okay, so use this time wisely to be the beacon. Okay, to shine the light upon the 5D world you want to see into physicality. You're already there. Okay, you're already on the cliff, you're standing right there, but the light will create the physical that we can see and touch in this form. Okay, but energetically, the world is already created. Does that make sense? So be the light you want to see. Live it today. Don't wait until you see the 5D. That's not the point. The point is we can't see it until we make it today. Okay? That's the whole thing. Everything is backwards. Don't think of it, don't think of this world with the human logic that was installed into us in school. Okay? They gave us incorrect information because they don't want us to manifest. They want us to do the work for them to manifest what they want. Okay? And how do they do that? By infusing TV and movies and shows of what they want to see. They don't lift a finger. The people who control us, the people who created us, they don't lift a finger. They just install ideas through music, movie, television, news. They install ideas. And when people go along with the story, we collectively create what they want us to experience, what they want to create for us. So stop participating. It's my idea. And understand the truth. The truth is the opposite. You have to envision it, become it first, now, in order to see it in reality later. Okay? So you become that compassionate person. You help those people in need, even if it's just with a hug, a listening ear, having conversation, making those people feel seen and heard and loved. Okay? If we don't have anything financial to give, or we don't, and please don't give to those group donation things. It all ends up in the pockets of those who are not in need. Okay? So you want to do something for someone, do it yourself. Organize all your own things. There's plenty of people in the community that can use help, assistance, guidance, a friend, okay, someone to talk to, someone to drink a cup of coffee with. All right? You can give everything with just a simple smile and a simple hello. You can change a person's day. Okay? That's how powerful we are. We can change their vibration by letting them be seen, heard, and know that they are loved. Okay? That's how we change the world, one day at a time, one person at a time. And that's how we bring the 5D reality into physical form. Okay? You've got this. We're all in this together. It's one big puzzle, and without you, the puzzle is not complete. So understand your value, understand the importance of your presence here. There are no accidents. You didn't just accidentally end up here. You chose to be here for a reason. You will choose to leave for a reason. And you will always be an indismissible part of this current creation of this reality. Without you, we're never complete. Okay? All right. I love you guys. I'm going to see you next time. If you'd like to see more of me, you can see me on Patreon weekly. And I got the link up there on top. Yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day. And don't forget, believe in the magic, because it's the magic that makes our reality. All right, bye.